Mark Zuckerberg is successfully bankrupting a $1 trillion company, which is pretty impressive that he's able to do this and so quickly, too. So, Mark Zuckerberg obviously created Facebook, now known as Meta. They own a bunch of different things like Instagram and WhatsApp. But there's one thing that this whole entire ecosystem is trying to get into that is bankrupting the entire company, and Mark Zuckerberg loves it. That's the metaverse, hence why they changed the company name from Facebook to Meta to be Metaverse and to be that metaverse company. But ultimately it's backfiring and leading to them falling in value pretty substantially. You can see this is Facebook's stock, and even on Robinhood you have the warning up here that stock has received experienced elevated volatility. So Meta, this super big tech platform supposed to be just a great stock and company, is down 44% in 5 years, which is ridiculous. For 5 years, for a big tech company, let alone any company, to have a negative return is a terrible, terrible look. And you can see from these peaks all the way up 378 per share, all the way down to under $100 and falling. It's at 97 and falling, could be lower than this. And even if the one day, you can see down 25% in one day because of their earnings report, which was a bad earnings. And as a result of the fall in value of this company, Mark Zuckerberg himself has lost almost $100 billion, or more than $100 billion since the peak of Facebook. So from this point right here, 378, to where we are now, Mark Zuckerberg has lost $100 billion in net worth. He's just plummeting down, and it is just his own doing. It's only him. From what everything is going around and being talked about, the people within Facebook do not really want to go through this metaverse change and go down this route. But Mark Zuckerberg himself is super into it and really wants to get it done. And he has all the voting power. His shares that he has the voting rights, and the other shares do not. So basically, he can do whatever he wants. It's how a lot of companies are constructed nowadays, with founders, with founder shares having the voting rights and then other shares not having rights. But either way, it is all Mark Zuckerberg's decision on everything he's doing. It's his decision coming from him, and he is the reason Facebook, or Meta, is falling so drastically. You can see Meta shares plunged 24% to the lowest price since 2016. So 6 years, it's a low, 6-year low, which is really, really bad for a stock. You don't ever want to really hear that. It's pretty much telling that the stock or the company is moving in the wrong direction. If over half of a decade of gains can be erased, you might be making a wrong decision. You can see the big driving factor of this is right here, the decline of more than 4% year over year, and its second straight quarterly decline. The profits also plummeted 52% to $4.4 billion. The reason this is a big deal is because for Facebook, or Meta, whatever you want to call it, I guess technically it's Meta, they never had these declining quarters. It was always moving up, and recently they had their last report was their first declining quarter, and now they have another one. So not only is it their second ever declining quarter, it is back to back. Things are moving down. The company is moving in the wrong direction. It's not moving up. It's not making more money. It's not getting more users. It's moving down. Big problem. And also, Meta warned the fourth quarter would be more of the same, issuing a weaker than expected outlook. So even worse. So not even two back-to-back bad quarters. They might be looking at the three-peat, to go back on bad quarters. And obviously that's just going to keep pushing the price down and down and down, as people were betting on Meta being a growth and continuing to grow, and at least continuing to grow revenues. But now they're not even doing that. So big problems coming in. And one of the biggest problems is this metaverse here. You can see Mark Zuckerberg reiterated its commitment to spending billions of dollars on developing the metaverse, and their whole metaverse kind of thing that they got going on has lost almost $10 billion so far this year. Just this year, $10 billion has been spent. They're really dumping money into this that seems like maybe they can't really afford to lose, especially right now. And Meta seems to be getting attacked from all fronts, really, because the analysts now are against it and like cutting all of their price targets and cutting everything and not really being excited about it, as well as a lot of things that have popped up for them like this. Since the start of the year, Meta shares are down more than 61%. It's been hurt by competition from rivals such as TikTok, plus a broad slowdown in online ad spending and challenges from Apple's iOS privacy update. So it's been being attacked all over. So the Apple update is big because obviously you got iPhone, you can stop sharing your data. That's Facebook's entire business model, is using your data to sell ads. And if they can't do that, then their money gets hit pretty bad. That could explain the more drawdowns in their revenue because they just can't get the data they used to be able to get. Obviously, we're in a recession too, so the online ad spending a little bit harder to get. People aren't really advertising as much. They're cutting back, saving money. Businesses especially are saving money, so they're not doing these big marketing campaigns. That cuts money as well. And you got TikTok, Facebook, and Meta, whatever Meta, the Facebook and Instagram are becoming older social medias. They're going into becoming really old, and the new shiny toy is TikTok. That's people are going towards that, and it's just the new social media, the new toy. People have been using Instagram for many, many years now. And Facebook, I don't even think people even think about Facebook if you're not over the age of like 40 or 50. So this new stuff is coming to replace Facebook's old stuff that it used to rely on for user growth and everything like that. But Facebook obviously isn't the only one losing value. We are in a pretty tough market. Everything's going down. But the big tech stocks have lost $3 trillion in market cap over the last year. Pretty insane numbers. You can see the number one, which is surprising that Meta isn't number one, but this is also a little outdated, or not really outdated, not taking the right, it's not from the peaks. So Meta did reach $1 trillion market cap. This has it at 868 billion. It did reach $1 trillion. Now it's at 280. That is a massive loss. That's over $700 billion lost, which obviously puts it at number one. But we're doing exactly a year. So a year from today, a year ago today to today, it's the peaks are a little off. It's not from the peaks, but looking at this list, Google down almost $700 billion. Microsoft down $692 billion. Meta 588. You see all of these big tech stocks. Everything looks to be hit hard except for really Apple, which is, I mean, kind of crazy. Apple only down $34 billion. Apple has been the backbone of like the market, trying to bail it out on being successful earnings, and that might even be coming to an end. So Apple being the last one to fall. We'll see if they can hold on and maybe hold on for the rest of the market too. But right now, it is Apple saving the day for everything. Meta obviously collapsing, lost almost all of its value. You can see right now it's at 280 billion. I don't know if this would be updated. This is about the same, but I see it's under $97. It's just free falling right now. But Meta 280 billion was $1 trillion. The ability to lose 700 plus billion dollars in market cap in 1 year is absolutely insane. That is a talent of itself. Mark Zuckerberg is impressively losing money at a very fast pace. So then that ends with the question, is Facebook going to go bankrupt? Is it going to go under? I mean, it very easily could. It's not at that stage yet. They're not like in dire need of stuff. They're still making billions of dollars. So they're still should be in a relatively good spot. But if they keep going down this path and Mark Zuckerberg has control over it, seems like this is what he wants to do, they could easily be spending so much money over the next few years that it ends up actually impacting them and putting them into trouble. But only time will tell. We all have to watch from the sideline as Mark Zuckerberg bets his $1 trillion company and is currently losing that bet. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And there are to 1,000 subscribers. And see you guys in my next